Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the fascinating science and honestly, the staggering economics of self-healing concrete. It's a biomimetic material that is completely transforming our built world. Look, we rely on concrete for pretty much everything, right? Homes, roads, bridges, dams. But it has one massive fundamental flaw. It cracks. So we're going to explore how material science is literally taking a page right out of nature's playbook to create infrastructure that heals itself, kind of like how your body repairs a cut. But to really get this, we've got to start with a bit of an intriguing historical mystery. Why exactly do ancient Roman structures survive for millennia, while our modern infrastructure, well, it often cracks, degrades, and needs massive repairs in just a few decades? It's kind of a paradox. We've got advanced engineering, computer modeling, modern chemistry, and yet the Pantheon in Rome is standing there perfectly intact after 2,000 years. To figure out the future of self-healing concrete, we actually need to look backward. So the crucial difference really comes down to chemistry and structural design. Modern concrete just has relatively poor tensile strength. When it cracks, and let's be real, it always cracks, it lets water and harmful compounds seep right in. That water hits the internal steel rebar, causes it to rust, expand, and eventually shatter the whole structure from the inside out. But ancient Roman concrete, it didn't use steel rebar. And even cooler, it had this quality called autogenous healing. Geologists actually found that Roman concrete contained straddling-dike crystals. These formed along the internal zones of the material, naturally and continuously binding the aggregate and mortar back together whenever microscopic cracks popped up. So yeah, the Romans were literally building self-healing cities. Now, we didn't totally forget this ancient concept. The push to reverse engineer this stuff spans centuries. Actually, back in 1836, the French Academy of Science officially noticed this autogenous self-healing happening in cracked concrete water pipes. But the modern era of actively engineering this, that really kicked off in the early 1990s, when researcher Carolyn M. Dry created the first contemporary macro-encapsulation method, basically embedding chemical-filled fibers right into the cement. Then, jump to 2014, geologist Marie Jackson and her team officially unlocked the secret of those Roman stratolite crystals we just talked about. And that brings us to today, where AI and cutting-edge bioconcrete are driving a massive global market revolution. Okay, let's look at the natural phenomenon of autogenous healing itself, because it's super fascinating. All concrete actually has a tiny, innate ability to heal. When a super small crack forms, we're talking up to about 200 micrometers, and water gets in, it can trigger the continuous hydration of unreacted clinker minerals or the carbonation of calcium hydroxide. Basically, a chemical reaction happens that drops a thin layer of calcium carbonate, essentially limestone, right over the crack. But here's the catch. It only works on those tiny microcracks, and it absolutely relies on the constant presence of water. So if you're in a dry climate, or if the crack is just a little bit too wide, natural autogenous healing just isn't going to save your structure. And because that natural healing is so limited by crack size and water scarcity, modern materials science had to step in. To autonomously fix those larger, much more dangerous cracks and help infrastructure survive extreme environments without constant human maintenance, we have to actually engineer the concrete. We can't just rely on the innate chemistry of the cement mix anymore. We've got to embed specialized active healing agents directly into the material before it's even poured. So, how do we pull off that engineering feat? Well, we rely on three main autonomous solutions. First up, microencapsulation. Think of these as microscopic capsules filled with an epoxy or a healing agent. When a crack tears through the concrete, it physically ruptures these fragile capsules, spilling the epoxy right into the void to glue it shut. Next, we have vascular networks. This is a highly biomimetic approach. It acts a lot like the human cardiovascular system. We literally put 3D printed vein channels inside the concrete to continuously transport liquid healing agents from an outside source straight to the damaged area. And third, we have bioconcrete, which uses living organisms. And honestly, bioconcrete is probably the most mind-blowing approach of all. Researchers at places like Drexel University are doing incredible work here. They literally mix dormant bacterial spores, specifically soil strains like Lysonobacillus sphaericus, along with a food source right into the wet concrete. These bacteria can just sleep inside the hardened concrete for years. But the second a crack forms and water seeps in, boom. The bacteria wake up, they rush to the crack site, chow down on the embedded nutrients, and their metabolic process precipitates calcium carbonate. They are basically building hard limestone tissue to seal up their own environment, completely fixing the crack. It is literally living, breathing infrastructure. I really want to emphasize here, this isn't just some theoretical lab science we're waiting for in the future. It's happening right now. Companies like Basilisk are already deploying these exact technologies out in the real world on massive projects. For example, they used self-healing concrete to waterproof the huge pressurized water-retaining structures at the Artis Aquarium. At Schiphol Airport's Beitenfelder Tunnel, Basilisk used their liquid repair system ER7 to autonomously fix over 1,000 shrinkage cracks. Prologis is even using it to heal their heavy-duty loading pit floors. We are actively curing concrete out in the field today. Plus, to make these systems even more efficient, artificial intelligence is getting heavily involved. AI machine learning algorithms are now being used to predict crack behavior before it even happens. By constantly monitoring the infrastructure using embedded sensors, AI can optimize the exact chemical or biological composition needed for that specific environment. It provides what we call defensive sensing. This ensures those embedded healing systems trigger at exactly the right time, which drastically cuts down on maintenance and ensures long-lasting performance. Now, let's look at how this is reshaping the global market. Going into 2025, intrinsic forms, meaning those chemical admixtures that just boost natural healing, they dominate at about 40%. But capsule-based systems and vascular networks are catching up fast, holding a 30% share each, and they're expanding rapidly. That's because while intrinsic healing is fantastic for general sustainability, those capsule and vascular systems give you the advanced precision and the volume you actually need to heal major structural damage in large-scale infrastructure. Zooming out to the macro level, the economic projections here are just jaw-dropping. The global market is sitting at an estimated $128 billion in 2025. But by 2035, this market is projected to rocket to over $1.6 trillion. Trillion with a T. This is definitely not just a niche, eco-friendly alternative anymore. Massive investors like BASF, Cemex, and Holcim are pouring capital into this space because self-healing concrete is fundamentally changing the underlying economics of global construction. That huge leap represents a staggering 29.02% compound annual growth rate over the next decade. So why is it growing so incredibly fast? Because it's driven by absolute global necessity. Our modern infrastructure is aging out, and the lifetime maintenance burden of traditional concrete is just becoming financially unsustainable for governments worldwide. By shifting to materials that need less initial cement and require almost zero lifetime repair, we're slashing carbon emissions and avoiding massive structural repair costs all at the exact same time. Breaking this down geographically, Europe is currently leading the global charge, holding a massive 40% share of the market going into 2025. This is heavily spearheaded by Germany, who really pioneered bioconcrete deployment and pushed some aggressive sustainable construction policies. Over in North America, they're rapidly adopting the tech too, especially capsule-based solutions, to fuel smart city developments and fix up aging highway bridges. And in the Asia-Pacific region, rapid urbanization and massive government infrastructure investments in places like China and India are creating an absolute boom for these next-generation materials. So as we adopt these materials to drastically reduce global cement consumption and wipe out those heavy maintenance costs, we really are at the dawn of a new architectural era. We're transitioning from inert, decaying building blocks to dynamic, biomimetic materials, which leaves us with a truly fascinating question to wrap up this explainer. If our infrastructure can now heal itself like a living organism, if our walls and our bridges can literally patch their own wounds, what incredible things are we going to build next? Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope this sparked your curiosity about the ground we literally walk on every single day.